When you elect me to the 31st legislature, you would not be electing a cheerleader, a go-along-to-get-along senator, a senator that neglects the issues confronting St. Croix, a senator that will shy away from his duties to represent this district. Rather, you'll be electing an experienced manager, ready to lead on day one, with extensive understanding of how the government works and how it should work in order to be effective. When you elect me to the 31st legislature, I will put my experience to work for all of us. Our economic solutions are not rooted in short-term solutions such as borrowing. Instead, a long-term approach to sustainable economic growth must be on the table. I submit to you that St. Croix has the best potential for large sustainable growth. That is why we must focus forward with our eyes on St. Croix. We must unleash this secret weapon. This will benefit the entire Virgin Islands. We must develop new sources of revenues through proven methods. Eco and sports tourism are viable products that must be developed thoughtfully and realistically. And yes, I do support the renovations of Polly Joseph Stadium and the development of the sports arena in Mars Hill. We can no longer look to the government as a primary job creation vehicle in our economy. If we are to survive in this global economy, we must diversify and build the private sector. Small businesses have always been the driver in the American economy. Currently, we're experiencing the consequences of the over-reliance of large employers with the closure of Hovensa. While we welcome any new large players to our economy, we must apply equal resources to building the small business sector. Those businesses should be owned by people who are committed to the Virgin Islands and directly benefit Virgin Islanders. The support and development of small business sector is paramount. That is why I propose a program of targeted incentives for entrepreneurs to support the St. Croix tourism products, businesses like Tantan Tours, Chant, and our taxi drivers. I want to reform the excise tax requirement for small businesses. The excise tax renders local businesses non-competitive to mail order prices. It also places a tax upfront on items that may sit in our stores inventory for months before being sold. Our small retail stores must be given a fair chance in this economy. I also want to push a more aggressive agenda to support the revitalization of our towns of St. Croix. Christiansted and Frederiksted are still struggling to return from their former glory days almost 25 years after they were devastated by Hurricane Hugo. We can pursue self-funding initiatives that can reinvest into the infrastructure of our towns. I support the idea of a downtown casino with the tax revenues generated being earmarked for infrastructure and development downtown. Pave the roads for God's sake, improve the lighting, install more parking. We should also pursue tax incentive finances as we did for Home Depot to support the renovation of privately owned buildings. We should encourage private-public partnership with cruise lines to make investment in our towns. I am ready to rebuild our towns. Are you? We must provide opportunities for young men and women who want to succeed and attain gainful employment. This cannot be limited to summer jobs. Instead, I propose that we institute an apprenticeship program in partnership with the vocational school and the University of the Virgin Islands in the trades and skills we need as a community. Then provide assistance in getting them directly into the workforce and give them the training necessary to one day operate their own business. Let's give them an opportunity to mortgage their first home, get insurance for their children, and attain a better quality of life. The same opportunity that's available for individuals and entities that relocate to the Virgin Islands to succeed here must be made available to the local Virgin Islanders. They must know their government support and encourage them to open their own business. The people of the Virgin Islands are entitled to a state-of-the-art medical facility to address triage, short-term and long-term needs. We have doctors leaving our island, facilities closing, patients going without necessary medication and treatment. Why? I will make sure this issue is a priority when elected to the 31st legislature. Our own Governor Juan Francisco Luis saved my life. In 1996, I was diagnosed with malignant lymphoma of the ileum, intestine cancer. And it's because of that Juan Louis Hospital that I'm here today to speak and run for candidacy of the Senate. As fate will have it, years later, my father went through a similar situation. Again, we were met with very competent doctors and nurses who work well and very hard. But this hospital must be adequately funded. While government workers and employees of large private companies enjoy adequate health care insurance coverage, individuals that are self-employed or working in small businesses are left without insurance. This includes our fishermen, farmers, store owners, and taxi drivers. People here at Gertrude's, people at One Love Service Station. We need to make sure these people are covered. These individuals are just one major illness from poverty or financial ruin for their families. This is why we should investigate approaches to universal coverage, such as single-payer insurance and expansion of our Medicare eligibility. I believe that the key to a progressive community is a better educated citizenry. Proper education is the foundation for growing our economy. Taking families out of poverty, improving our health, making better choices regarding our elected leaders, and solving the many other problems that confront us. It is my hope that we can make a fuller commitment to educating our young people and to furthering our knowledge as adults. There are many reform proposals that I'd like to see further consideration given to. Allow elected district boards to assume responsibility for the day-to-day operation of public schools in each district. This will provide greater autonomy to the district superintendents to make decisions affecting their district without the bureaucracy of the state-level agency and create a more meaningful oversight for our elected board members. The governor's appointed commissioner should be free to focus on financial management, performance improvement, and long-term planning. Develop and engage and robust preschool to college council that focuses on developing a continuous system of education. A system of education that links and coordinates each education level from preschool through college. This will create a unified approach amongst the University of the Virgin Islands, Department of Education, and the Board of Education, and the preschool providers to plan curriculum and approaches that can ensure that students graduate from high school with the preparedness necessary to pursue higher education opportunities. We must strengthen the system that tracks truancy and academic performance to alert us to children that are falling through the cracks. We have to commit to monitoring the 16,000 children that are enrolled in our public school and support their families at the earliest demonstration of poor attitudes towards education. Parents and guardians should also be held accountable for ensuring the timely and regular attendance of our children in school. Of course, I cannot run for the Senate as a lifelong law enforcement officer and not address the plague of violence that has afflicted our community. In this new chapter of my life, I do not want to be an enforcer. I want to be the preventer of crime. I've spent years running criminals, locking them up, just to be faced with the same criminals over and over again. The fact remains that even when you arrest them for murdering someone or cutting someone's arm off, that arm will never grow back or that person will never come back alive. For our young people that have run afoul of the law, we need to build stronger programs for the prevention of recidivism. The prison system must not continue to be a revolving door for criminals. Convicted criminals should be provided with the support to re-enter in society and develop into productive citizens. The funds for evidence-based re-entry programs must be identified and earmarked as a priority. We must combat drug addiction by funding intervention programs. The drug trade in the Virgin Islands is fueled by relatively small, hardcore drug addicts. Furthermore, we know who most of them are. They are the ones that break into our homes and steal our heirlooms, our jewelry, or involved in stealing of copper. We need to target these individuals for intervention and do our best to clean them up and eliminate the demand for crack, cocaine, and heroin within our shores. Friends, I wish I could stay retired and quietly run my family business. But there is no way that I could continue to live in this community and observe our plight without offering my experience and leadership. As I look around this room, and as I can see a great network of committed individuals that will not let me fail, not let us fail, not our beloved St. Croix fail. I am confident that we can restore our quality of life and transform St. Croix in a positive way. Remember, the days is always darkest before dawn. But with the support I'm prepared to do my part to push towards a brighter tomorrow. Let's not get distracted by the petty politics and empty rhetoric. Let's not get distracted by personalities and power struggles. Now is the time to focus and moving forward. Thank you very much and have a great evening. One love.